How's it going, guys? This is Crops, aka Beast Beats. Today we got a deck profile for y'all on my top 8 finish Panda Burn Goat deck. It was 105 players. I managed to go 6-2 with this deck, and due to some misplays, I may have got further, but I'll cover that in a series on the channel later. We're just gonna get right into the deck. So we got, to start off, 3 copies of Giant Rat. Rat box. This lets you go into a handful of useful monsters, such as Gyre Panda. This is kind of a big theme of the deck. Basically, he gains 500 attack for each monster your opponent controls, and he does piercing over those monsters. 1600 defense actually isn't too bad either. Sometimes, if you had to, you could sit on it, and it could block things like Breaker, Tribe, weak monsters from getting through. But obviously, usually you go aggro with the Panda. The Aggro Bomb is one nickname for this deck, but we just call it Panda Burn. Then Injection Fair Lily and Exiled Force. They're both at 1 in the format, and other targets for the Giant Rat. Basically, Exile to pop problematic monsters, Thousand Eyes Restrict Jinzo. Fair Lily goes to 3,400. If you can get a clean shot in of 34, your burn cards can usually do the rest for the most part beyond that. So I like it. Now, we're also playing 3 Yugioh Garden in this deck. This is a very interesting card in this deck because, of course, it's anti-knock or mind control, tribute to the Doom, back to square one kind of things if it's set. But also, it's 26, so they usually take damage from attacking into it. It does go to attack mode, but there's a card that you'll see soon that you can combo with to where it's always in defense. And it's hard for a lot of decks to get over, especially if they only have 1 monster on field. It literally would have to be BLS or a D-Mock or Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon to attack over it. Next, this is something you don't really see in every burn deck. This is Nimble Mamanga. For those of you who haven't seen this card before, it's 1,000 attack, 100 defense, Earth. Basically, it's a level 2 beast that when it's destroyed by battle, you can special summon up to 2 more from the deck in face down defense. Sadly you can't choose between attack and face down, but they become set, and you gain 1,000 life points as well when they're sent to the grave. So just to gain life and 1,000 attack, this can attack over things like Mystic Swords in level 2, so it's not the worst thing to have. Also works pretty well with another spell you'll see in the deck shortly, as well as Sangan. Searches almost every, maybe even every card in the deck just about. Morphing Jar and Cyber Jar. So both jars, these are like win conditions in this deck. You want these to resolve at all costs. So usually you can set things like Big Shield or Nimble Manga, and maybe even a Panda. If you don't know if they have knock, you just don't want to lose them to knock. But if you do, oh well, life goes on. But I like the jars in this deck. I feel like they're a must staple in burn decks. Then the staple Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity. MST is pretty much a staple as well, to out like the Kree and other problematic back row. Double creature swap. Moving forward, I'd probably cut this, but I played it at the tourney. The mindset was you could give them a Nimble Manga or Giant Rat or something for like if it's Warriors, that's pretty good. Say they got a Blade Knight or a Kaiku or some beater, you can just swap it with a Recruiter, and then usually they have low monster count, so that also helps there. But it conflicts with the trap card, which is why I'd probably cut it moving forward. Then swords and 2 level limit. Small spell count for this deck, but basically these are the stall cards. What you do with these is hope your opponent cannot kill you so that you can burn them or attack them over with Panda while they're gathering monsters first. And yeah, these cards, almost everyone hates it because they can't play if they have a lot of level 4 or higher. Same with double Gravity Bind. Serves the same purpose as level limit. Basically all you want to do is stop your opponent from killing you so that you can get your burn cards and your combo going. And obviously World Decree is enemy number 1, but we'll get into that. Double Nightmare Wheel, another thing that stops your opponent from attacking, but this does both things. It stops their monsters from attacking. The monster can't change battle position, and it does 500 burn during each of your standby phases. Basically, this is really good against Warrior, to stop things like Blade Knight when it would negate your flip effects, like your jars, or against Mystic Swords in level 2. That's another thing to let because if you have like a Big Shogarna or a Nimble Manga or something, then level 2 is going to be a bad day for you. So being able to stop it from attacking and then dealing an extra 500 on your standby is just nice. Obviously against like Chaos Turbo or something, they can tribute the monster for Thunder Dragon and it falls off, so that's unfortunate. But if they're tributing a monster for Thunder Dragon, hopefully you're in a good spot. Then we got Magic Cylinder, Ceasefire, and Ring of Destruction. I think this is like the burn trap trinity in the format, basically. Cylinder, obviously it's kind of a meme. It's not that good at the end of the day, but I think I did win at least hopefully one game with it. I will show all the replays on the channel eventually and kind of talk about it, but Cylinder might not even be in the deck in the future. I'm not sure yet, more testing, but Ring and Ceasefire for sure. Ring is just staple in almost every Go deck and can really end the game, get rid of problematic monsters. You can even use it on your own Panda if he's really big to end the game. Ceasefire does 500 for every effect monster on the field and negates flip effects from going off. So if your opponent has a set Moth or Spy, which usually you want their Spy to trigger, but doing 500 to every monster is just important. You need every ounce of burn damage in this deck. Speaking of, now for the triple Secret Barrel, 200 for every card they control and in their hand. So as long as the longer the game goes, and if you resolve Cyberjar, they usually have a lot of extra cards, and that allows for a lot of burn damage. And then, I guess we'll do it this way. Then triple Just Desserts, it's another burn trap. Does 500 for every monster they control. And then, if they don't, let's say they only have, if they have two monsters or none, you can always Ojama Trio them. So one of the cookie cutter plays is Summon Panda, set a card pass. They attack into it with like we're on Blade Knight. They attack into it with a Blade Knight on attack declaration. Boom. Now your Panda's going to go to 28, and their Blade Knight's going to die, and they're going to have 3 useless 0 attack, 1,000 defense tokens that, when they're destroyed, they take an extra 300 burn damage, and you want to clog up your monster's board with these. If you could resolve 2 and they have 5 Ojama tokens, they can't be attributed, so sometimes they can just be board locked, and you literally will probably just win through burn damage while they're just sitting there not being able to play. So that's the main. It's 41 cards, which I just wanted to kind of meme, honestly. Next, we're going to go into the side deck because the fusion deck isn't too relevant. I'll just do this real quick. These are the Ojama Trio tokens that I use. Clobopus, very important for the footage. All right, onto the side. So, one Kinetic Soldier. Delinquent got first place at Worlds this year. He was, I think, maining 2 of these, deciding the 3rd. This card is for Warrior. I don't think I need any explaining. You can also Giant Rat into it, and that's really cool. Then Tribe. Board wipe for things like Jinzo, Thousand Eyes. You can end the game possibly if they're at, like, sometimes you need just a little more damage. So if they have Trio tokens still, just Tribe, Call Beast, end the game. Then we got Breaker. Pretty standard. You want to side out to Royal Decree, basically. So Breaker and Mobius get that done for you, as well as Heavy, and a card that I would probably never play again, Double Snare. Some of you have maybe never seen this card. Basically, you select a face-up card on the field that has the effect that negates trap cards and destroy it. So out Jinzo, out Royal Decree. Just play Giant Trinade, people, and book a Moon or something for the Jinzo. Lightning Vortex, Jinzo is basically the only reason, maybe Thousand Eyes, but for the most part you want your opponent to have monsters, so I'm not sure if I'd even decide that going forward for the most part. 2-way motion and 2 messenger. The other spells on the side, the thought behind these cards were I'm expecting a lot of opponents to put in Royal Decree, so I can swap out things like Gravity Bind, maybe Nightmare Wheel, some of my trap cards, and for spells. So if they're just relying on Decree and not something like Dust Tornado or other removal, because they think, oh, I'll just sit on Decree, you can play these spells and with level limit, and now they have no traps to stop you from attacking with like Panda or something, and also if they don't have extra removal, they'll probably still have MST and Heavy, but maybe Breaker, but hopefully these last long enough to get you the W. And then the final cards on the side were triple Threatening Roar. This is mostly for like Reasoning Gate because they do tend to be pretty explosive, and they play Jinzo. So if they Reasoning, you probably call 6. If they Monster Gate, you might chain this just in case of Jinzo. Or if they Dimension Fusion or something and there's a Jinzo in their Banish Zone, Prima or call back a Jinzo, you just would chain it before the Jinzo hits the field, hopefully. But just to stall, it also could be okay in the mirror match because the mirror match gets weird with Pandas and Fairy Lilies and other, maybe they side Cyberstein or something. Then 1 Labaku as a 4th Threatening Roar. Really probably don't need this moving forward. But that's what I played in the tourney. And that's really all I have for the deck list today. And again, I am going to get the replays from Go Format Championship 14. I'll probably go with them like 1 episode at a time for the 8 rounds. and kind of go over how I feel about my gameplay and like misplays, things I thought I did well, and what I would change about the deck moving forward. But this is Crops, aka B Speeds with Team Illuminite. Thank you for watching, and until next time.